How do I know if my kitten has panleukopenia? When it comes to figuring out if my kitten has panleukopenia, I have to say it's one of those things that really freaks me out. Like, I'm always on edge whenever my kitten seems a little off. So, feline panleukopenia, it's that super scary virus that kittens can get, and it's honestly one of the deadliest diseases out there for them. I've heard it called feline distemper too, and just the name alone makes me nervous. I've done a lot of reading about it, and from what I gather, the first thing I should be watching out for is that sudden change in my kitten's behavior. Normally, kittens are so playful and energetic, bouncing off the walls, chasing anything that moves, right? But with panleukopenia, they just sort of crash. They lose all that kitten energy, and it's like they have zero interest in playing or eating. That's usually the first big clue that something's wrong. And then there's the vomiting and diarrhea. Seriously, it's like the worst-case scenario. The diarrhea can be really bad, sometimes even bloody, which is super alarming. That's because the virus attacks the lining of the intestines, so it's not just your average upset tummy. It's messy, it's smelly, and it's dangerous because it can cause dehydration so fast, especially in a tiny kitten. Another thing that I've read about is the fever. So if my kitten suddenly feels really warm or starts seeking out cool places to lie down, that's definitely something to take seriously. I'd probably check their temperature if I had a pet thermometer, or at least pay attention to whether they seem unusually hot or lethargic. And then there's that weird posture some cats get. They kind of hunch over with their heads down like they're just too weak to move, or like their tummy hurts. It's heartbreaking to see that, honestly. The virus also attacks the bone marrow, which means their immune system basically gets wiped out. So they're super vulnerable to other infections too. That's why getting them to a vet as soon as possible is so important. I've heard vets can do a quick fecal test to confirm the virus, and they might also check their white blood cell count, which usually drops like crazy with panleukopenia. If I ever saw those symptoms in my kitten, like the lethargy, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and just that overall sense that something's really wrong, I'd call the vet immediately. It's so scary, because kittens can go downhill so fast. And seriously, the best way to avoid all of this stress is to get them vaccinated, because that vaccine is a total lifesaver. I'd make sure my kitten's shots are up to date, no question about it.